It's been almost exactly 12 years since we started this, because it would have been right around this time in 2014 that Brad and Britt were fired by Greater Media in Charlotte. It would have been that.
Oh, man.
Isn't that crazy?
2014, but I didn't realize it was about this time of the year. I wouldn't have guessed that, but yeah, wow.
Oh yeah, it was the first. And then you've seen, because people may not know this. Maybe you're tuning in for the first time. I don't know. I really don't care. Bryant Williams and Britt Whitmire. He's Bryant. I'm Britt, and we used to be in the radio business. And you've seen all of these people at iHeartMedia. This is like the worst purge ever of talent, right? The biggest one ever.
Yeah, it's pretty sad, man. It's like the last hurrah.
Previously, like replacing, the last greatest purge. And it's just there's this saying in business that you cannot cut yourself to profitability. I don't know if those people took that class. I don't know. I don't know if the people who are doing this actually the geniuses.
I guess the only thing I think they need is like a GM, a PD, and some, I don't know, voices. If however they want to generate those voices. So I don't know. I'll tell you what one guy is doing, and his name is Joel Denver, and you may remember that name because he's a Winston-Salem native. And Joel Denver used to cut. He has started this company. Oh, you're going to love this. You're going to love this. He's taken a couple of great talents, like people who are major league. This one woman, I think her name is Randy West, and she's done voiceovers. I know you've heard her voice. She is an awesome, awesome talent. She and some other guys, they speak into this AI machine, and the AI machine takes their stuff and they tweak it a little bit, and this thing will spit out material that sounds exactly like her. Same inflection, same pauses, same everything. And Joel Denver is peddling this across America as a way to save radio. That's what he's doing. How do you feel about that?
I think it's bullshit. I think it's like if you're a surgeon and you go up and go, no, I'm going to just plunge this knife right in the end of the edge of into the chest of this patient. It's going to save his life. No.
Okay.
No.
I couldn't get a good vibe from you on how you felt about it. I'm like, I was scared to say anything, but I was like, surely God, he's not for this.
No, go with your instincts on this one, my friend. It is bullshit. It's not going to save anything. But this is good. It's great. Like, I think we're on the same boat here. That anytime you have to rely on, or not even have to rely on, even have to use like AI for anything, you're just a loser. There's so much. Well, I think you and I have talked. My feelings about how it's going to like destroy our economy and ruin society and everything else, right? We've talked about that, yeah. And I haven't changed a bit. I haven't changed any at all from those particular thoughts.
It intensified over the last several months or so.
Well, I talk to these people. No, I use it. It's great. I get quotes and I learn how to. And I'm like, okay, so you've got. Do you think like your chance to get quotes and maybe, firm up your paper? Do you think that's worth like killing our economy and maybe giving instructions on people how to kill themselves? Do you think maybe that's, do you think that's good?
Sounds like laziness to me.
Are they, it's stunning. No.
Okay.
It's stunning. But I talk to a guy at work sometimes, and he's still under the man. If we could just get a radio station and we can do this with it, and I go, oh, you're so funny. You're just so funny. I can't imagine. It's hard for me to imagine a worse investment in 2026 than a radio station. Like try to brainstorm for me a worse investment than a radio station right now.
How about you can even say an AM radio station.
Oh, but absolutely.
If it's there's got to be still a million of them out there just chugging along, don't you think?
Oh, there are, and every time they go, well, we should take these out of the cars. They go, no. Here's what happened. When they had the Hurricane Helene a year and a half ago in Western North Carolina, there were a couple of AM radio stations that were
absolutely 100% no kidding lifelines to those people in certain areas. 100% true. I couldn't even deny that, and I'm not going to doubt it at all. But yes, they're dead. If you go down the street and you see in your neighborhood a pile of dog shit, maybe it's a pile of shit that your buddy Stan has just made. Maybe.
Yeah. There's a few of those around.
And if you said, you went to one of your neighbors and said, "Sir, I'll sell this to you for $1," and he goes, "You got it." That's a better investment than AM radio is in 2026. I'm just saying.
I'm laughing, but it's true. It's sad, but
I mean, I'm not being hyperbolic because
You're not. No.
It's the saddest thing, but as far as an FM segment, slightly better for FM, but really not.
Not really. But you know what? I do think that is the case, though. Even AM station, maybe even more so, maybe AM station. But I think that maybe when you talk about Hurricane Helene and all that, maybe places like back up in the country, like in that area, still kind of rely on some AM stations like we used to kind of back in the day. I think they're more. Yeah. I think they're more I don't know about prominence the right word, but I think they're more of use. I think, and people listen to them a lot more in like those really, really back rural areas. Still, I don't know that. I'm just kind of guessing. I
think that's true. That is true in very few areas. Most of those AM stations in rural areas are just, they put them on a loop and they run satellite shit on them all the time, and it's usually right-wing bullshit, or it's semi-religious right-wing bullshit. But they just keep the needles going, stuff like that. But in fact, there's a guy on what used to the station that we used to know as 99.9 Kiss FM, which was like one of the great reasons that you and I both got into the business, because we were obsessed with that fucking station. It's a country station now, and there's a guy named Eddie Fox, and he busted his ass during Hurricane Helene to help those people out and to get any information he could. And and it's an iHeart radio station. I contend that had that not happened, they would have probably ended up firing that guy. Because hey, that's just how these people are. I mean, they're just the most.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, but I'm just saying. I said, wow, just to think of something like that saving my job. Thank you, Hurricane Helene. You saved my job.
Well, it's true.
It's true, but it's just weird.
They just don't care, and they're such an awful. They're some of the people who run that company and stuff are just like so fucking like. They're lauded as. Like Bob Pittman is the guy who's in charge, and he has been for a number of years, and he'll go to these conferences and he'll just say the same thing. Well, synergistic qualities and distribution, and we're in the car, and we have 86% of America every day. And the same shit that you've been hearing your whole life. And he was one of the godfathers of MTV. So he is lauded as this great genius. Well, you and I have talked about this. What are the lessons of MTV? MTV was pounded into submission to do stuff that they eventually made money off of. Allow me to give you 3 examples. One of them is actually detailed in this movie about Michael Jackson that you may have heard of. They weren't going to play Michael Jackson. And then the guy that was in charge of CBS Records. It's you can't. It's crazy.
Without Michael Jackson, that's just like.
There's no, I'll say it. There's no fucking MTV without Michael Jackson. There's just not. I'm sorry, you can't have it. There's no 60s without the Beatles. There's like the decade just skips right into the 70s. That's what they do with it. So Walter Yetnikoff, who ran CBS Records, went to MTV and goes, "I'm yanking every one of my artists off your channel if you don't play this obvious huge artist who is blowing the doors off at every record store in America." Okay, we'll do it. And then what happens? They make a shit ton of money just off the Thriller video. Just the Thriller video and the money that it brought into MTV is just a sick amount of money. So they made millions upon millions upon just a Brinks truck after Brinks truck of money back from fucking Michael Jackson. All right, I'll tell you what we're never going to do on this channel.
Goodness, man.
We're never. I'll tell you what we're never going to do on this channel. We're never going to have fucking rap on this channel. There's none of that rap music. Those black people, blah, 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 blah. I'm man. I did it. We're not going to have that on this channel. Okay.
Never.
Okay.
Ever.
Here's what we're going to do. 4 o'clock in the morning on a Monday morning, we'll put a show on. It'll shut you fuckers up, and it'll let you know that rap music will never be a part of America ever. Blowout numbers, huge. Yo, MTV Raps, they make Brinks truck after Brinks truck after Brinks truck of money on rap music. Well, I'll tell you what, we're never going to have on this channel. Heavy metal. Fuck metal. We're not doing that shit. All that hair shit. Oh, never going to come on this channel. You guys are. All right. Here's what we're going to do. 3 o'clock in the morning, we'll do a metal show on a Monday morning just to show you idiots that metal is never going to be a part of this country, and it's never going to sell, and it's a fad, and it's you guys are stupid. All right. And then, of course, blowout numbers. Tons of metal, have a metal show, play metal, and just make Brinks truck after Brinks truck after Brinks truck. That's the Bob Pittman legacy to me. That's the Bob Pittman MTV boy genius. That's the guy to me. So they can't figure it out. And those people are anyway. How are you? You good?
Oh yeah. After that, I'm pumped. I've got all kinds of. I'm full of all kinds of piss and vinegar now. Let's go.
Yeah. I like to get you psyched up a little bit. I like a little bit of fire and that shit. That's good. Oh, hey, we should, you and I should plan a road trip to go to that Yeehaw Fuck Fest up there in Washington that Trump has to celebrate America's 250th deal. We should do that.
Oh, I bet that would make the grand total that have been there we push it maybe over the 940 mark or something.
I understand you're able to masturbate in public at that thing. I wasn't interested until you could do that, and that's a great idea.
Oh my God, what in the world, man? What state was he representing?
I'm not sure. Where is MAGA Manny from? I'm not really sure.
Which one? I'm curious.
Sure, he's over. He probably got a good gander of that North Carolina Confederate flag, and he just gave him a huge boner. He had to work it out.
That's where it was. He was in the North Carolina tent right underneath that flag. Yeah, that's it.
Sometimes, the North Carolina tent, if you got a Confederate flag in there, it makes you pitch a tent. You got to deal with it right there, right then and there. It doesn't matter who's around.
Yeah. The 44 or so people that are there, be damned,
I've had this discussion with a lot of people. I don't know if we've had this discussion. I'm not really keen on celebrating our 250th birthday. I don't really like us right now. You know what I'm saying? You feel me on that?
Said that. Is it bad to say? Am I the only one in this? I can't be the only one in this. But please ease my mind and tell me that I'm not overthinking this when I do this. Like when I go, like today, when I ran some errands and came back, I was noticing people in their yards with their flags out and their little mini flags that go up and down their sidewalk and up and down their driveway.
Yeah.
I even saw some person in their pickup truck with a big U.S. flag, just freaking just blowing like a mofo going down.
I'm not feeling it.
I mean, it was a huge flag too. It wasn't like some little, hand flag waving around. I mean, I'm surprised it wasn't, guiding the truck. It was so big, But yeah, I'm with you, man. But I get it. But what I guess my point is in all this, when I see all that stuff, I'm like, I can imagine if I had money and a FanDuel had a bet for it, I would bet that you voted for the man in office. I'm just, of course. Saying. I mean, that's how I feel about that stuff now.
That's the deal. I mean, and hey, you're a veteran. If you're not feeling it right now, then it's like, I think that's totally your right, and it's my right, and it's anybody's right. You can, if anybody wants to put up a flag the size of, King Kong's face, whatever, and celebrate it, that's fine. But I'm just not, I ain't feeling it.
That's right. Yeah, I get it. People want to do it. That's fine. That's just not, I'm with you, brother. I'm just not in the mood to and it's sad because I would like to make it a big deal. I'd like to, because I was a wee youngster back in the bicentennial 77.
That's right.
1976, and I remember that being fun.
It was fun.
I was a youngster, but still, I do remember it being fun, and I remember the big build up for it. It was just, I don't know. And then this is just like, yeah, whatever. I don't know.
Having said that, are you surprised that some of the visitors for World Cup haven't been shot yet? I'm very glad that it hasn't happened, but in the land of gun violence, I'm shocked that all these people have come here and not one of them has been shot yet.
Well, that does defy the odds a little bit.
It does.
I guess should we say we're proud of everybody now? Are we proud of the American citizens?
Yeah, good job putting those guns down for wait not to shoot anybody for like 6 weeks or whatever. Good job.
Good boy. We'll get you a pizza tonight.
Don't worry. School's going to be back in session in about 7-8 weeks. We'll be back to it. It's fine. It's
plenty of time to gear
It's
up.
Perfectly fine.
Quite literally.
I saw the story. You may have seen the story. I don't know if you saw it. They said that the German team that was staying in Winston-Salem, they were bored. Did you see that story?
Yes, I did see that. Okay.
That's weird.
Whose fault is that?
Well, I don't know if I can really.
Did they make them go? Did they make them go to Winston-Salem?
I'm gonna like take issue maybe with the journalism on that, and I don't know if it was all that great. And they've interviewed everybody, and of the team, did 3 of them say it? Did 2 of them say it? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if they were expecting discotheques at 4:00 in the morning. I don't know if they were. I don't know what they were expecting. Whatever. Again, I'm just happy they didn't get shot. I'm just happy.
Can I just say that I was in Frankfurt, Germany for a while, and
yeah,
I really don't remember in Frankfurt. I guess it's no Berlin. I don't know, but I never been to Berlin. But Frankfurt's a pretty good sized place, and from what I saw, it's not like they had the sidewalks rolling it after midnight themselves, so it wasn't like it was some Vegas style scenery out in
Party
Frankfurt.
Central. Girl, like Coyote Ugly girls dancing on the bar and shit at all hours of the day. Nothing like that, right? Yeah.
I don't recall it. Well, no, not Coyote. We won't talk about it. I've told you the story a long time ago.
Well, what we could have done is we could have taken the Germans and show them our concentration camps. We call them ICE facilities now, but we would be able to, hey, look what we got. Look at this. This Alligator Alley, and there's this place in Louisiana. It's so great. Oh, why are you doing this to these people?
We should turn them into national historical sites, like kind of like Alcatraz.
Sure.
And have tours through there and stuff. Yeah, this is where they starve the people to death over here in this cage.
That's right. You guys have Auschwitz. I happen to think that our concentration camps are a lot nicer than yours. I don't know. You guys may disagree. I think ours happen to be, and we can have postcards and T-shirts and merch, all that stuff.
Is that what the T-shirt's going to say? He's going to say something like, "My camp is better than your camp."
That's right. Auschwitz ain't shit compared to this. We American pride. See, we're back to American pride in 2026, yo. Why are you doing this to these people? Oh, we're just trying to think of a final solution. Oops. What are we doing? Don't know what we're doing.
Gotta laugh. Otherwise, I'm telling you, it'll drive you nuts. If you're,
I know Belkish was
a sane human being, it will.
Right. If you're a sentient person with any sense of conscience at all,
any kind.
That's correct.
Any kind.
Any kind. Like minimal, just absolutely minimal. Like if you'll swerve your car this much to avoid hitting a squirrel. That's all it takes, really.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
So, thoughts on Sami Zayn being the world champion? So, thoughts on Sami Zayn being the world champion?
Okay. First thought that I have on this, glad you asked, was when it happened. It's like, okay, this should have happened about a year and a half or so ago. I'm not happy. I'm not unhappy that he won. I'm happy for Sami Zayn. I'm glad he can put on his resume that he is a champ. The whole storyline behind it is a garbledly bunch of gook because it just. I mean, it's like they made him into a semi-heel, but he's still slapping hands with the fans coming down, and I think he got some sympathy cheers going on in there for him, just because it's Sami Zayn, and I just don't think people knew what to make of him. I certainly don't. I mean, as far as like where he stands in the world of heels and faces, I don't. That part, again, I think I may be the only one. Well, not the only one, but in the minority when it comes to feeling stuff like that. About it seems like a lot of people nowadays, maybe it's just a younger crowd, I don't know, that just like the middle of the road guys, heel or face, kind of like a bunch of the guys in AEW. They just kind of ride that line, but I just don't think they knew what to do with Sami. It was just like, I'm happy for Sami, but it's just weird that he gets it now. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's like it peaked too late.
You either believe one of two things. You either believe that this guy is hot right now, and this makes a great storyline, and the fans are going to love this, and we're going to sell a lot of tickets, and we're going to get a lot of T-shirts and all this stuff. Or option two is, we want to keep the Saudis happy because we like their money. I believe option two is the one. It's so cynical, and it's such a cynical thing to do. But that's exactly this company, this TKO company is. There's no other way to look at this. I'm sorry. I love Sami Zayn as a performer. Like you said, this should have happened a long time ago. If you did a storyline where you were trying to print this out and say, this is what's good for the company, this is what's good for business, and we'll use this to build to this. That's not what's happening. Sami Zayn is a Muslim guy in a Muslim country, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and it was a popular thing to do among the people, and it's going to keep that money flowing. It's going to keep it rocking and rolling. That's what happened, right?
I mean, it's not written down anywhere that that's what happened, but
no.
Come on.
There's no T-shirt, there's no bumper sticker, there's no corporate plan. No, this. I mean, I think it's fairly obvious to anybody who was involved in this thing. They're like, yeah, this guy's real popular over there. We got to keep that blood money coming in. Let's go ahead and throw these guys a bone. And we don't give a shit what the fans think, right?
Yeah. When have they thought that? When have they gave a crap about the fans at all lately? So tell me, just tell me. Let's review again, and please tell me how our friend Cody Rhodes hasn't been screwed over about 10 ways till Sunday ever since he came back to WWE. It's really weird how you say that initially and you're like, really? Cody Rhodes been screwed?
Well,
no. Yeah, he has a few times.
He's finished the story. I mean, he's making a ton of money. He's got his own bus, got his own podcast. I mean, everything's good. He's been in a movie. He was in that Naked Gun movie. I'm not saying he has, but I'm also saying almost every creative.
I don't feel sorry for him. In other words,
No, but creatively, just about every time they've gotten a chance to stick one to him with no lube, they've pretty much done that, right?
Well, yeah.
I can't say otherwise. I mean, if you talking about the Cena run, talking about when The Rock tried to screw him that time and they tried to get him out of the main event. It's just time and time and time again. Cody ends up on the short end of so much shit. So many times. And I don't know if they go, we kind of screwed you on that one. Here's another big fat check. Go ahead and just throw that in the account. I don't know if that's what's going on or what, but time after time, creatively, they seem to be like screwing that guy over a lot, right?
Yeah, it just kind of, I don't know, sort of out of left field sometimes. You don't really see it coming, sort of thing, I did, or at least I didn't the couple of times. I was like, wow, okay, we'll do it. I'm a little surprised they did that, but I don't know. I guess they figured he's probably the one superstar they can get away with it. Or whatever.
Well, I was sincerely hoping for that MJF run in, but it just didn't happen. And, maybe we won't do that.
Yeah.
I would do that. That's your new forbidden door, by the way. Your new forbidden door is somewhere in Beirut. Yeah, talk about in Beirut, Sami Zayn versus MJF.
Speaking of Beirut, sorry to take the ramp here. Did you
That's
see,
fine.
You've had to have seen the video of that bombs that they supposedly Israel set off in southern Lebanon. That was like
supposedly. Thanks for being very clear on that. Supposedly.
Well, look, I've only seen it once or twice, and the video is impressive, but at the same time, it's kind of like, is this real? Is this a real video? Actually, I think one of them was Al Jazeera English that I saw it on.
Yeah.
So maybe it was real. Okay. But anyway, that was and that wasn't even like an atomic bomb. That was like the largest non-atomic bomb that's available.
I've frankly never heard you be more anti-Semitic, and
oh, God.
That's what they do now. That's what anything you say that's like, geez, I just don't know if they should be bombing children. Oh, why do you hate Jews? Oh my God, you're the worst. No. It's true. Like you can go like, yeah, I don't think I went to Cat's Deli one time and it really wasn't that good. Oh my God, why do you hate Jews? You hate Jews so much.
You bigot.
Look, man, I'm not a big fan of pastrami sandwiches. Oh my God, what is wrong with you, Jew hater?
Hey, I did get some bagels today on my run of errands. FYI.
Were they good? And did you enjoy them?
Yeah, they were the best bagels I've ever had in my life.
Okay, well, you're okay for now. You're on the team. But if I hear one bad thing about a bagel,
no sir,
and a schmear,
can I say that word? Am I allowed to say that? Schmear? Can I say schmear?
I truly think, from our side, I think every Democrat needs to go out and just to clarify, the problem isn't Israel. The problem is Netanyahu. Just say that. Like before you start any sentence about anything that's even mildly critical of, that shade of blue on the Star of David. I think that could be, you son of a bitch. How dare you?
If you say that to the Democrats, what you just said, what they should say, it's not Israel. It's Netanyahu. If you say that to them, they look at you. They'd probably look at you like what? Dracula looks at a cross. No!
If the Democrats would say that, and here's the next thing that the Democrats could do, it's not going to happen because they could win the election automatically and roll, and the Senate would be ours, and the House would be ours, and the impeachment proceeding. If you would say, fuck AI centers, no AI centers.
That'd be nice.
If you said that, but they can't because the tech guys are writing big fat checks. So you can't say that. It's not possible.
Yep. You are correct, sir.
It is the most populist thing to say across America. If you're black or you're white or you're Hispanic or you're Catholic or you're Jewish or you're Protestant or you're whatever, people come together on, man, these AI centers are bullshit. They should not be able to build these things like this.
I don't know.
Everybody agrees on it.
One person, man.
Absolutely.
Not one.
Every person. And it's urban, it's country, because they're building them out in the country mainly because that's where the zoning laws are a lot worse and you can are a lot easier, and then you can just go ahead and throw a bunch of money at a bunch of hick county commissioners and get it done. That's what they're doing.
Yeah,
that's how they're doing it. But even in urban areas, people are like, that's bullshit. We shouldn't have that. But of course, so that means a politician can't just say, that's bullshit. We shouldn't have those. They can't do it. It's not possible.
No. Fat wallets win.
Yeah, man. Citizens United is the greatest case in the history of ever. That one and the one that allows Trump to do anything that he wants to. Oh, excellent job, boys. You nailed that one. Jeff Jarrett opened up about where he stands with former TNA president Dixie Carter. I know you were sweating, but these two old friends, I know you want them to come back together more than anything, don't you?
Not really.
Isn't it weird that Dark Side of the Ring has a 3-parter on TNA? Did you think TNA was that troubled?
No, I didn't. I really did. I mean, we were the kings of making fun of TNA back in the day when all this was going on. But at the same time, and you probably not as much as me, but I think you did watch. I mean, you watched it. It wasn't like you didn't watch.
I tried.
Anything.
Lord knows I tried.
I know. But the thing about it is, during all that stuff that even I made fun of, even I was critical of and all, I still watched it. Absolutely. There was something about it that appealed to me despite all the bullshit. And it's really weird. I know that sounds weird, but it's just
but they always, at any given time in that promotion, they always had really good talent. Always. It didn't matter. Exactly. It was like one or two guys and then some stuff. There's always good stuff and stuff you couldn't see. But here's what I want to say to the guys, Evan and what's his name, the producers of Dark Side of the Ring. If Vincent James Russo is not allowed to give his side of the story on TNA Wrestling, I will personally go up to Canada and beat your asses.
You hear that? You hear that, boys?
I don't even have a passport, and I wouldn't get it for this. I'll tell you that.
You'll sneak your ass right across the border for this one.
Just don't care. Jeff Jarrett opened up about where he stands with former TNA president Dixie Carter, admitting their relationship was always strained. He encouraged her to share her side of the TNA story on the Dark Side of the Ring docuseries. Dixie these days, I think, would be painfully available and could free up lots of time in the schedule. I would think.
Painfully available.
Jeffrey Jarrett talked about his current relationship with Dixie Carter on the Insight podcast with Chris Van Vliet, who we like a lot. Very good interviewer, one of the best. He expressed the respect that he had.
You told me about him being there with Pillman that time at WrestleCade. And I just don't remember him at all. I remember
he comes up to us
there vaguely, but I don't remember it was, this is his name or anything.
Well, he's the Guy Smiley of pro wrestling. I've always said that. If anybody has that reference to the Sesame Street or the Muppets, he kind of looks like Guy Smiley to me, the guy that would do the game show hosting. No, we were talking to Pillman before he was Lexi King or whatever the fuck, and we're kind of like, "Hey, Chen," he goes, "Hey, you guys know Chris Van Vliet?" Oh yeah, he's a very nice guy, and we said hi to him, and he was it happened. It was really weird. He expressed Jeff Jarrett expressed the respect that he had for Dixie's dad's pocketbook. No, that's not what that says. I apologize.
No, I believe that's right. I believe you're right.
He expressed the respect he had for her, given her family's investment in TV's pivotal early years. It has always been strained. Oh gosh, I don't know. Since before my first wife's passing, I would say it's been strained, but I had so much respect for her position. That is the investor daughter, and the investor, Bob Carter, and Janice played a huge role. You know the original thing about their first investor, the guy from Health South. Remember that guy? You know the story?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I don't remember.
I think he went to jail. I think he had to go to prison.
Really?
I think there was the first investor, and this is right, I think maybe about the time or possibly after Jerry got out. Jerry and Jeff were having their problems. And they got this guy from Health South. Huge.
Poor Jeff got problems with everybody.
Well, him and his dad were not good for a long time, which I can relate. Although I did on Father's Day.
Did you ever have a Dixie Carter in your life?
7. No. No, the question is, do I have a Dixie Carter in my life now? No, I'm kidding. For Father's Day, I did have a few beers with my biological father for the first time in many years, and so that was good. So it was fine.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah,
dude. That's nice.
It was after many years of consternation. Here's what Jeff said, and that's where you talk about stuff being misunderstood that you often hear about. Sorry, no, so Jerry leaves and they need an investor, and they go to this guy at Health South, and I think he was in Alabama or something like that. But it was a huge company, multi, and this guy owned, I think Conrad said, maybe the biggest piece of real estate on this lake in Alabama. So this guy turns out to be a fraud and malfeasance, and he goes to jail, and the rug is ripped right out from underneath Jeff Jarrett. So Dixie is doing PR for them at that time for TNA, and he goes, I don't know what we're gonna do. We're fucked. I gotta get another investor. I gotta sell. We're gonna fold up. And she goes, wait. My dad's rich as fuck. That was like literally the quote.
My dad's rich AF, Jeff.
And he, Panda Energy. in Texas. And I think you know the story from there. You know, they were looking for investments, and they think that Bob Carter just liked the idea of going to the country club and going, hey, you know that Hulk Hogan guy wrestles for me? They think that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, that's hard to deny, man. That's just I can totally see that. Totally.
He's hanging out in Dallas at some, you know, fucking country club with some guys named Linwood or some shit like that. And hey, man, that guy, Randy Savage, you remember him, Macho Man? Yep, works for me. That's the kind of shit they like to do around. Yeah, like as they're playing pinochle or whatever shit they're doing over at the, you know, the country club after a round of golf. Jeff goes on to say, that's where you talk about stuff being misunderstood that you often hear about Bob Carter, but very few people really understand what a role Janice, that was his wife, they were a team. They're a husband, but also a team. But I respected Dixie, and I knew, okay, that's my boss. That's my financial partner's daughter. I got daughters. Jarrett further revealed
my memory real fast. When this happened with her dad, what was Dixie still like the kind of the GM, like the acting GM or whatever she was?
She was, yeah.
Or is she something else?
No, she was specifically put in charge, like non-storyline, to run the place, and then storyline to work her in as needed. And you've also heard those stories too about like she would come in on pay-per-views and get her makeup and her hair done before anybody else, so she could make her little appearance on the pay-per-views. You've heard those stories, right?
Yeah,
those are great. And then maybe allegedly, possibly, she had sex with Kevin Nash, although I totally don't think that happened. I just want to say that in case there are any lawyers who are listening.
A wink.
Kevin Nash has to have like a really big penis. I mean, like really, 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 like, I mean, epidural style. I mean,
well, he was at Magic Mike 2 or something, XL. Or
no, is it both? Is it for the first two of them? I think he was in both the first two of them.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I knew he was in at least one of them. Okay.
So he was good.
If that says anything, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, but
I don't think he shows his off because they didn't have IMAX back then. It wouldn't fit on the screen.
Excuse me, sir. Could you unfold that, please?
Did you ever hear that joke? Oh, who was it? Pete Davidson told that joke about Shaq sending pictures of his dick, but he had to send them on Dropbox. Oh God. Jarrett further revealed a conversation with Carter about her appearance on Dark Side of the Ring docuseries, in which she eventually refused to participate in. The producers of the program even approached Jarrett to convince Carter's participation. But I mean, we're talking about Dark Side of the Ring, Jarrett says. The producers tried to get Dixie to be a part of it, to my understanding, multiple times. She said no or didn't call back or whatever it was. So we jumped on the phone. I told her, I said, Dixie, I know you've been asked Dark Side. All I wanted to say is I'm encouraging you to sit down and to tell your version, tell the truth. And she's like, well, I'm not really sure. She kind of indicated, I'll paraphrase, that part of her life is behind her and all this. And I said, Dixie, here's the reality in this industry. There's your truth. And they will say that there's multiple people that are on the show and their truth are somewhere in the middle there. All I wanted her to understand that I thought it was in her best interest. And she didn't tell me no, but she never came through. Carter served as TNA president for nearly 13 years until 2016. Good God, was it that long? That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Wow.
The upcoming Dark Side of the Ring episode for season 7, centered around Jarrett and TNA Wrestling, is set to premiere July 7th on the Vice TV. I think that was another one of those situations that part of the discord between Jeff Jarrett and Dixie Carter was being sown by Mr. Christian himself, Vincent James Russo. I believe
is he not in this? Is he not on the Dark Side of the Ring episodes, or do
you know? I was joking, but I would hope to God they didn't put him on there. I would hope that he didn't. But if they offered him, he'll do it because he's a whore.
And some of these, like if Dixie refuses to do it, maybe some other people refuse to do it. They might just be hard up and maybe need somebody like so. They turn
maybe,
but I don't know. I'm jumping.
Now we all remember the Vince Russo story. The network that they were on, which was Spike, which was really good. It was good distribution at that time, and they were ahead of, I think, the Ultimate Fighter series or something like that. So they were getting some pretty good ratings. And then eventually the people at Spike went, we don't want this Vince Russo guy involved with your company at all. And TNA goes, okay, sure, fine, no problem. And they were like secretly paying him and not letting him know that he was writing the shit. And then one day, Vince sends out something to somebody, and he sends it out to, who's the guy from pro wrestling, that Mike, whatever his name is. And he was supposed to send it to Mike Tenay. And he sent it to the wrong Mike, and he outed himself as being a guy. And then he tried to play it off like, oh, the marks. I got the marks again. Fucked him over pretty good on that one. Look at me. And then Spike went, you're off of our network. And then it was on that. You remember the series of networks, because we talked about it. It was like Relay TV Go or some shit like that. You remember all the stuff they had to be on TV?
Ridiculous, man. It was Spike TV was like the Cadillac of networks out of all the ones they were jumping around on
at that time, because it was the old TNN, which was the Nashville network, and then they went to the national network, and that was when they put ECW on. And then, of course, they became Spike when they got Raw. And then when Raw went away, but it was supposedly TV for guys or whatever. It was very testosterone-y and shit like that.
Yeah. And they just came right out and said that. You know.
I'm really having a good time with our show today. Are you having a good time with our show today?
Of course I am.
This is like, because I know you've had stress in your life. I've had stress in my life. We come together for this, and we can kind of forget about that for an hour or so and just kind of fuck around. And that's cool. And I'm feeling like the endorphins are going. I got some, dopamine hits going on in my brain and all that shit. So this is good, right?
That's right, man. And you're hitting on some in some chambers in the old memory bank sometimes that you don't normally tend to. So yes, that's what I like about this. It opens those little vaults up that I keep locked up for whatever reason.
We talked about the RWA, our favorite local promotion, Revolution Wrestling Association. Big show August the 9th, and Doc Gallows, former TNA and WWE star Doc Gallows, is in the house.
How about that? Somebody knows somebody there.
Well, I talked to the promoter, Julian Strauss, and went, you're not booking Big Ben Bishop against Doc Gallows, because if you are, take my money. I'll get the tickets now. He goes, no, couldn't do that because Ben's not. I do think, and I think Julian thinks so too. That's why he tried to put the title on him and do all this stuff with him. I think Ben's going to go on to greener pastures sooner rather than later at some point. Yep. So for a local promoter, an indie guy, you want to try to get as much out of him as you can until he's, out of here. Right.
Right. Of course.
So that'll be a lot of fun. I think that'll be a fun thing. And the guys from Lizard Lick Towing, Ronnie and Amy from Lizard Lick Towing are going to be there as well. Big wrestling fans of the Dawson Brothers.
Oh, wow. Dawson Brothers looks like they could be in that show. They look like they totally. I've been looking at some of their short form content on Reels and stuff about Ronnie and Amy, and they're talking very much about I don't know if you know this. A few years ago, their son was murdered. Do you know this story? I don't think so. No.
Yeah, it was an act of somewhat random violence, although I think their son Alex had been involved in some stuff, and he was in a somebody had been disrespected over some money on Cash App or something, and these guys rolled up and they fired shots into the truck where he was, and there were a lot of people in there, and Alex was the only one who died. And I'm not a religious person in the way that Ronnie and Amy are. I try to be spiritual. I've begun reading the Bible, but it's mainly so that people won't tell me bullshit that's not in there. I'm not going to let somebody else tell me bullshit. Exactly. But I admire Ronnie and Amy so much for walking their faith and doing that. I know that sounds a little corny, but I see so many people, and Ronnie wears like these jerseys with Bible verses on them and stuff. And that's not me. I don't, but he and Amy seem to be walking the faith. And how could I criticize that? If they're able to make it past. They talk about the people that were in that truck with their son, with Alex, and they didn't die, and they're not pissed or upset that those people, they said that the people in that truck got another chance, and God gave them another chance. And I'm like, well, who am I to say otherwise, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a pain. Yeah. It's a pain that I can't. I mean, it's the worst possible thing. Every parent's nightmare, same nightmare. And for this to happen to them in such a violent and senseless way, and for these people to find a way to kind of make it through, I think. And I'll probably say something to them when I go to that, because I've never, and I don't really watch the show or anything like that. I've seen some of the clips and stuff, but I really admire the fact that those people are letting. They're not just out here, hey, look at the fish thing on my car. I'm a Christian, They're actually doing it. They're actually walking that shit.
Walking the walk, yeah.
When did it occur to you? Let me ask you this. When did it occur to you that some people just go to church to make like business contacts? Did that ever occur to you like when you were a kid? It was like later in life, maybe in my 30s or 40s, before I thought, well, people are just...
Yeah, I agree. It was probably later in life. That's probably pretty much when I started breaking it down altogether, was by that time.
Yeah.
Just slowly but surely. But the business dealing thing, I didn't probably see that one until later on.
There's people like in a certain town, if you're like prominent and you're like maybe the only insurance agent or one of only a couple two, or maybe you run a car lot or something. There are people that just feel like they are obligated to do this because it's what the people in this town expect, and that's how they want to. They want to do business with somebody like that. They're not sincere about their faith or anything like that, but that's what they feel like they should do.
Right,
and that's why they do it. Okay. Yeah. An update regarding the censoring of blood on WWE events replayed on Netflix. Following WWE Night of Champions on Saturday, fans noticed that Braun Breaker's head appeared blurred at times on the replay version of the show on Netflix after he began bleeding during his match against Seth Rollins. Now, I don't know if this applies to ESPN. I don't know if that applies to that at all. You've heard all the reports about ESPN and Disney not being super happy about their involvement with WWE, and
Too bad, so sad.
Yeah, the tears in my eyes. According to a report from PW Insider, Mike Johnson was the wrong Mike that Vince Russo copied. Mike Johnson. How could I not remember the fucking name Johnson? Yeah, how could I not remember that?
Yeah, I know, man. It's right there.
Not to be mistaken for Mike Jones, who I think was a ring name for our good friend Virgil. Virgil was known as Mike Jones there for a while.
That's right, Mike Jones. Yeah. That's right. Good old Mike.
According to a report from PW Insider on Thursday, the blurring of Breaker's head was done by WWE itself. Okay. So the blood of the journalists that are murdered by the Saudi royal family, not a problem.
No.
The blood during our fake wrestling, can't let it happen. Wow. Not a thing. Yes. What did you think of the way they wrapped the girls this time? What did you think of that?
I didn't see. I just saw a clip or two. I don't know. It looked about the same to me. It always does when they go there.
Livy had a skeleton thing. Livy had like a skeleton thing, like some of the girls would wear at Halloween.
I don't even know if I saw her. I saw a couple of females. I don't even know if I saw her because I didn't watch it. I just didn't watch the PLE.
It wasn't ridiculously sexy. Now, in the past, sometimes when they put the girl, it's like latex. I'm like, this makes them about 5 times hotter than if you just let them wear the regular gear.
I think you're defeating the purpose there, Saudis.
I don't know if Muhammad or Allah or whoever will be pissed at this, but you just made like I want to go up to Washington and crank one out.
Choose your state wisely.
How do you stand in that field when it's hot as fuck? And I go, man, I could really go for some public masturbation.
There's, if it's out, I'm just guessing it was in one of the states. I mean, because the whole thing is there's nothing out there to stand behind or beside.
No,
crouch down.
No, he was like by the stage or something. From what I heard.
Oh,
that's what I heard.
By the stage.
But it makes
not where everybody's
again
or anything.
No, like where Lee Greenwood would be or something. I don't know. But there's certain, and again, and I'm proud to be masturbating. What? That's not how that goes. Again, I'm not like the most religious guy or anything like that. I certainly hope I go to heaven, but I think there's certain things that are like very clear messages from God. Like this entire great American fuckfest, whatever it is, it's very masturbatory in terms of it being just this thing that Donald Trump's doing to stroke his own ego and to stroke his own pud. So here's a guy who's literally masturbating, like literally. I feel like God is like, hey, listen, hey, you lost the sauce
here. Hello.
I just feel like that's It's like you say when we see like bombs and rockets and shit, and they're killing children. It's like God's going, hey, anybody want to look into this? This is a thing. Stuff's happening.
Network. La, 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 la. It's great.
The report notes that in addition to blurring Breaker's bloodied face, some camera angles used during the live broadcast were replaced with alternate shots on the Netflix replay. That just sounds fucking exhausting to me. That just sounds so exhausting.
Is it all because of the PG stuff? I mean, are we PG-13 now, or is it still PG? Do we know?
It's like the best shit that's ever been on Netflix was like titties and bleeding and shit blowing up. I mean, I don't get that. I don't get it.
This isn't Raw as War.
I don't know. I'm watching this show. We were watching this show on Apple TV, and it's called Margot Has Money Problems. And Nick Offerman plays a wrestler. Have you heard about this show or seen it?
I don't have.
Okay.
I haven't heard of it.
Elle Fanning's an attractive woman. Elle Fanning's very attractive.
Yeah.
She gives birth in this, and it's disgusting and awful and graphic. And then she's breastfeeding, and there's stuff flying out of her titties that you couldn't identify in a lab. And it's just like, I don't know. But my point, and I do have one, would be they're showing all this shit. Why does oh no, blood? Oh my God, blur it out.
Yeah, I knew you were going there with that. Yeah.
Although, I don't think Apple TV is the standard because I think they burn through money like, I don't know, OpenAI or some shit. But it's there and people watch it. And I think they win awards for the stuff. But,
Yeah.
There was at least one instance where the replay cuts to a crowd shot for a few seconds instead of showing Breaker after he began bleeding. In what was described as common practice for WWE replays on Netflix, PW Insider also noted that holy shit chants after Rollins put Breaker through a table were replaced with this is awesome chants. We've gone full propaganda. We've gone 100% propaganda.
Oh my God. Meanwhile, I don't know if you saw Dynamite, as we speak last night, but that Mark Briscoe MJF match. Mark Briscoe.
Oh yeah, I didn't see it.
Talk about the Crimson Mask. Homie had the Crimson Mask on almost from beginning to end. I mean, there was some close-up shots of him too. So it's just like the total polar opposite of everything you're talking about right now was that match on AEW.
I don't know, dude. You can make all the comments and all the comparisons. I don't know if there's a tougher guy in fucking wrestling. I don't know if there's a tougher guy in humanity than that guy. I don't know who it is. Right?
He would be high on my list of people to go down into the trench with me. Yes.
Did you ever see the video of Bill Alfonso when he wrestles when he wrestles the woman in the ECW? It wasn't Beulah; it was the other one.
Oh, Dawn Marie.
Yeah, when he wrestles Don Marie. Yeah, when he's wrestling, is it Don Marie? It's the other one.
Was it Don Marie? Was it? I can't remember now. Now I say that. Or was it?
But he it's like for his. They're gonna fire him because of this whole WCW spy thing, which Heyman made up. You got to go out there and you got a job to her. Okay. And you remember in the first couple of minutes, she smacks him with I think it's like a cookie tray or something, and he's bleeding like a motherfucker, right? You've seen it?
Yes.
And at that point, I'm thinking, we're done, right? Let's go home. No, this match is over.
We're just getting started, son.
But they keep doing it, all this shit, and eventually he comes back and all this shit, and then that's what saved his job. Although that may be mythology in the ECW arena, but that's another one of those where I was like, it's okay to go ahead and end the match. As a hardcore guy, I'm not in Philadelphia, but it's all right. It's over. Some shit's happened. We'll go home. As fans, let's just go ahead and appreciate what we got, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'd have been just fine.
God. The Vision's time as a group in WWE may be coming to an end, according to WrestleVotes Radio on Fightful Select. There is a among the geniuses that are running this company in TKO.
Yeah.
And by the way, congratulations to Mr. McMahon for getting his money and settling that suit before it went to trial. I'm just so I couldn't be
nice job.
Sometimes the good. Sometimes the good guys win, Brian.
Sometimes,
that's another one where I wonder if it happened, but maybe it didn't happen. Where they should go to both sides and go, guys, you guys are both going to look like shit. Don't go through with this. It's like the Elon Musk suit against Sam Altman. It's like, oh, you guys don't do but they did, and they went through it. Elon Law. He was suing him for more money than anybody's ever been sued in American history. And both sides looked absolutely like dog shit by the time it was over. But nobody either loved them enough or they would listen to enough to go, don't do this. Just don't do it. Just do not do this, because it's going to make you both look bad.
Nah. Too much invested, I guess.
The report notes that some within WWE feel the Vision could continue, but only if the group is reimagined, including changes to the faction's lineup. Others in WWE, however, feel the group has run its course, that it's time to let the pieces fall where they may. The report continues to state that regardless of what happens with the Vision, Paul Heyman is expected to remain paired with Braun Breaker, with Heyman viewed as an important part of Breaker's presentation. And he is, and that's job security for Mr. Paul Heyman, and that's what he's been doing for 35, 36, 37 years in this business. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. I as far as I'm concerned, the Vision has been kaput since they kicked Rollins out. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't see the debate. I really don't see the debate. I don't either. I'm surprised it's hung on as long as it has. It kind of didn't make much sense, especially when people started getting hurt and they couldn't keep them in a storyline because there wasn't enough of them available, between Braun Breaker being hurt. And I think Logan Paul was hurt there for a few minutes or so. I mean, it was just, it was just clunky. So
do you remember the rocket ship? Do you remember the rocket ship that Austin Theory's career was on until that shit? They formed the Vision. Do you remember how well he was doing before that happened?
Yeah, because he'd had that break. People, I don't know, got tired of him there for a while, and he was rammed down our throats when he first came in, and went away for a while, and then started making the slow comeback, and then all of a sudden, pulled the left turn on us, and went with the Vision and Logan Paul and all that stuff, and just right back to square one with him, man.
It was career goal. It was career like cold water. The Vision formed in the days following WrestleMania 41 after Heyman aligned with Seth Rollins. In total, 6 people have been associated with the group: Heyman, Breaker, Bronny Reed, Logan Paul, Theory, and Seth Rollins.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Reed. He stays hurt all the time, too.
He does. Rollins, Breaker, Reed, and Paul have all been suffering significant injuries during their time with the faction, as you pointed out. And that's pretty much what's happening in pro wrestling. Any closing thoughts on another award-winning episode of Katie Vick is Alive?
Let's see. I always like to tell you some things I saw over the week, just randomly on YouTube or something that I looked up. The one that I saw this. Oh, well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I love the fact that there's much more stuff that the vault has finally been on YouTube, so that people who are getting ripped off on ridiculous ticket prices and everything else can watch some shit for free. You know?
Oh my gosh, yes, and it's just endless. I mean, the stuff is just, oh my god, it's just endless. But the one I saw this time, I watched the face turn of superstar Billy Graham in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling when he started teaming with Boogie Woogie Man. And I like that. The streets. They're from the streets.
From the streets, yo. Have you ever gone and seen... Have you ever seen some of the Handsome Jimmy stuff from Memphis? You should go back and watch some of that stuff. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I should. No, I'm not really having it, but yeah, I needed to go do that. I've watched some Memphis stuff, but I don't remember him being in any of the stuff I've watched.
There's a pretty good one with Jimmy and Wayne Ferris, and Wayne Ferris has been hanging out with Jimmy, and he's dyed his hair blonde, all this stuff, and Lawler's he's bitching at him, and he calls him the F word, the slur for a gay. It's pretty good. It's pretty good because Jimmy's trying to horn his way into the main event, and Lawler's trying to tell him every way possible. You're not main event talent, buddy. You're just not. Sorry.
What year was this? Was this like early 80s or late?
Early 80s, yeah. Before he came in, before he became Boogie Woogie Man, he was still Handsome Jimmy at that point.
Oh, okay, yeah, Handsome Jimmy Valiant. Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
there you go. All right, Bryant is available for your social media pleasure. Dad of Stanley on Threads and Instagram, and he's also Stanley Jackson 23 on the TikTok. I'm on Blue Sky. It's brittwhitmire.bsky.social. Bryant also on Blue Sky. They're the twos. THEYERTHETWOS. They're the twos. On Instagram and on Threads, you can find me at Real Britt Whitmire. And as always, fans, we appreciate your support. Till next time, we'll see you ringside.